Hello. This is a basic tutorial on layer style, and I'm pretty much, telling the new Photoshop users about how it works and, simple as that. As you know, I put a sample text, hello, and I'm going to show you what most of these are used. Of course, we're going to begin with the drop shadow option. And drop shadow pretty much gives a shadow to your text, if you can see. Whoa. Okay, see it? Anyways, you could change the color, but I suggest when using this, you use like dark colors, because like the brighter ones, you can't really see. And when you're working with it, use like dark colors, like black is pretty much the best. The opacity is like the how it appears, and the distance will show you how far the shadow will go behind it, and the spread is how much you're gonna make the shadow bigger. And you can also change the size of it. Yeah, pretty cool. The contour is pretty much how it well, I'll just show you. Like how it flows on it. See how it changes? Yeah, pretty neat. The inner glow just puts inner shadow. I'm sorry, I was reading the wrong one. The inner shadow will, of course, give a shadow inside the text, or if you're working with a picture, it will give a shadow in the picture. Since I'm working with a black text, I could go to lighter colors, which pretty much it's hard to work with black text since it's hard to see. So that's why I'm going to skip to color overlay. And color overlay changes the color of the text or whatever you're working with. I'm sorry, I think I say too much. So anyways, look, I just said again. As you see, I use this lighter color. You see how I use pink, and you can see, you notice the inner shadow. So I go to inner shadow and I put it opacity up, and it's more noticeable. And I like how the pink goes with the light pink, so it's very creative looking. But I'm going to use black. See how it's noticeable now? So now you can tell how it works. So let's go to outer glow. The outer glow, it doesn't really show much with the white background, so I'm going to go to red or black. I'm going to go black. And well, I guess it's not easy to see, but pretty much outer glow gives it a glow, pretty much. And the inner glow is like the inner shadow. It just gives the inner glow into it. See, and it's kind of hard it's kind of hard to see what it is. The emboss will just, I should say it will make it fat. And you can edit the depth of it, of how fat or strong looking it will look and stuff like that. You can change the color of what I would show an example of, using different colors with it, but, I'm trying to make this quick, and you can experiment with it. And the contour and texture will give, we already discussed the contour. The texture will give it, these are pretty much textures that, I downloaded, so you could just search them up on Google or, deviantart.com, because they give you things you could download there. But the textures will give it texture as you see. I'll choose this and it will give it lines. But it's kind of, if you're not watching the video in HD, it will be better if you watch in HD, since it will be easier to see what details is on here. So I'm going to uncheck everything else, and Santin. Yeah, it gives like the middle color. I don't really use it since I don't think it looks good, but you know, when being creative, you could use this in some way. The gradient. See, you can't see the gradient if you have color on, so you gotta take color off and you can see the gradient. I really like the gradient. It's very nice. And it's pretty. Neat. And for pattern overlay, I'll give you a little tip here. When you're using pattern and you want to use gradient or just color, let's just use a color. And I want you to take the color, put the opacity down a little bit, and when you're using the pattern with the color, go to pattern, and then go to a pattern you like, and whoops, let me go back. Okay. You will notice the pattern here in the text. For some reason it doesn't like me right now. Let's try with gradient, because it usually shows up with gradient. Well, pretty much I can't really show you how it works right now. Oh, there it goes. Here's one. See how the pattern shows with this one? Yeah, you kind of have to put the opacity and the color, gradient or color, to see the pattern. So there's a little tip. The stroke, of course, strokes it, colors. And you can also have gradient and pattern. So you could have, let me show you my dotted ones. A dotted pattern stroke, and that's pretty much it. You can also mess with opacity and the size of it. Woo. And pretty much every single part of the layer style options here is pretty much have the same for each and every one. See, each one has opacity, size, stuff like that. But yeah, pretty much that's about it. Pretty simple. I mean, just if you want to learn on your own, just experiment with each one and you'll discover something that looks wonderful with it. So any questions about the layer style, just comment, whatever. I'll be posting like more Photoshop tutorials, and you could like request a tutorial. And I'm gonna go now since it's been like 8 minutes already. So I was like not paying attention to time because I wanted a couple minute video, but I guess I went too much, so sorry about that. And thank you very much for watching, and yeah, there you go.